Kendall slammed her fist into the locker room mirror, shards exploding like her shattered career, blood trickling down her knuckles as the echo of the crowd's boos still rang in her ears. "I'm gay," she declared live on national TV during the championship match, the words tumbling out like a confession long buried, only to be met with silence that turned to venomous jeers. In that instant, the world she'd built, fame, fortune, the roar of adoring fans, crumbled, leaving her alone in the fluorescent glare, wondering if love was worth the ruin. Kendall Hayes had always been a force in the ring. At 28, she was the reigning queen of the American Wrestling Federation. Her signature move, the Hayes Hammer, a crowd pleaser that left opponents reeling. Born in the gritty suburbs of Chicago, she clawed her way up from backyard brawls to sold-out arenas, her muscular frame and fierce determination making her a symbol of unbreakable spirit. But beneath the spotlight, Kendall harbored a secret that gnawed at her soul. She was a lesbian, and the wrestling world wasn't ready for that truth. The night of the big reveal was supposed to be her pinnacle, the AWF Championship in Madison Square Garden, New York City, the heart of American dreams. Cameras flashed, pyrotechnics boomed, and Kendall faced off against her rival, a hulking veteran named Viper Vance. Midway through the match, as she pinned Viper after a brutal suplex, the words escaped her. "This one's for everyone hiding who they are," she gasped into the mic thrust at her face. "I'm gay and I'm proud." The arena froze. Then the boos started. A tidal wave of disapproval from fans who'd idolized her as the straight-laced hero. By morning, the fallout was nuclear. Sponsors pulled out overnight. Energy drinks, sportswear brands, even her favorite protein shake company. Her agent, a slick guy named Marty, called at dawn. "Kendall, what the hell? The Federation's suspending you indefinitely. They're saying it damages the family-friendly image." Her social media exploded with hate. "Traitor. Freak. You ruined wrestling." Even her family back in Chicago distanced themselves. Her conservative parents sent a terse text. "We need time." Friends in the industry ghosted her. Whispers of career suicide, circulating like wildfire. Kendall holed up in a dingy motel on the outskirts of Brooklyn, the city lights mocking her from the window. She scrolled through endless articles. Wrestling stars shocking coming out Tank's career. Depression settled in like a fog, thick and unrelenting. She barely ate, her once-toned body weakening from neglect. Nights blurred into days, filled with regret and isolation. Was authenticity worth this void? Then came the unexpected email from a local LGBTQ+ support group in Queens. "We're hosting a community event," it read. "Your story inspired us. Come share if you're up for it." Kendall almost deleted it, but something, a flicker of defiance, made her go. The center was a modest brick building, buzzing with warmth. There, amid folding chairs and coffee urns, she met Leilani Rivera. Leilani was 32, a vibrant elementary school teacher with sun-kissed skin from her Puerto Rican heritage, and a smile that lit up the room like a summer dawn. She volunteered at the center, helping queer youth navigate their identities. Her dark curls framed eyes full of empathy, and she carried herself with a quiet strength that drew people in. "I saw your match," Leilani said softly after Kendall's halting speech. "That took guts. I'm Leilani, and this is my daughter, Mia." Beside her stood a 12-year-old girl with wide eyes and a backpack slung over one shoulder, Mia, Leilani's spitfire of a kid from a previous marriage. Mia stared at Kendall with unabashed awe. "You're the Hayes Hammer lady. I watched all your fights on YouTube. Coming out like that? Epic." The girl's enthusiasm pierced Kendall's armor, a reminder of the innocence she'd lost. Leilani chuckled, her hand brushing Mia's hair. "She's your biggest fan. We've been talking about representation at home." That evening, over lukewarm coffee, Kendall opened up. Leilani listened without judgment, sharing her own story. Coming out in her 20s, divorcing her high school sweetheart when she realized her truth, raising Mia alone in a bustling New York neighborhood. "It's not easy," Leilani admitted, "but love finds a way." Their conversation stretched into the night, a spark igniting between them, subtle at first, like the brush of fingers or a lingering gaze. As weeks passed, Kendall found solace in their budding friendship. She started visiting Leilani's cozy apartment in Astoria, where Mia's drawings covered the fridge and salsa music played softly. Leilani cooked arroz con gandules, filling the air with homey aromas, and they talked for hours about dreams deferred. Kendall felt seen not as the fallen star, but as a woman worthy of love. But shadows loomed. Kendall's ex-manager leaked old texts to the tabloids, twisting her words into scandals. Former wrestler in secret affairs, the headlines screamed. Hate mail arrived at the support center, forcing it to heighten security. Leilani's school faced complaints from parents. Is she fit to teach our kids? The pressure tested their connection, but it also deepened it. One rainy afternoon as Mia napped, Leilani took Kendall's hand. You're not alone anymore, she whispered. Their first kiss was tentative, electric, a promise amid the storm. The romance between Kendall and Leilani blossomed like spring in Central Park, tentative buds unfurling under careful nurturing. They stole moments away from prying eyes. Walks along the Hudson River, where the city skyline glittered like a beacon of possibility. Quiet dinners in hole-in-the-wall spots where no one recognized the disgraced wrestler. Leilani's laughter became Kendall's anchor, pulling her from the depths of despair. You've got fire in you, Leilani would say, tracing Kendall's scars from old matches. Don't let them extinguish it. Mia was the unexpected glue. The 12-year-old, with her boundless energy and sharp wit, idolized Kendall. Teach me the hammer, she'd beg, and Kendall would demonstrate watered-down moves in the living room, careful not to break anything. Mia's school project on heroes who changed the world featured Kendall prominently, complete with clippings and a hand-drawn portrait. You saved me from boring history class, Mia joked, but her eyes held genuine admiration. In Mia, Kendall saw a reflection of her younger self. Fierce, unapologetic, yearning for acceptance. Yet conflict brewed. Leilani's ex-husband, Carlos, a rigid accountant from the Bronx, resurfaced with venom. He'd never fully accepted Leilani's sexuality, and now seeing her happy with Kendall, he weaponized it. Mia's confused, he claimed in custody filings, dragging them into family court. Exposure to this lifestyle isn't healthy. The hearings were brutal. Lawyers dissecting their lives, judges peering over glasses with skeptical eyes. Kendall testified, her voice steady despite the tremors inside. Love isn't a lifestyle, it's who we are. The media frenzy reignited. Paparazzi camped outside Leilani's apartment, shouting questions. Is the kid okay with two moms? Online trolls targeted Mia's school, forcing Leilani to pull her out for safety. This is my fault, Kendall agonized one night, pacing the kitchen. Leilani pulled her close. No, it's theirs, the world's. We'll fight together. Amid the chaos, a deeper bond formed. Kendall moved in temporarily, turning the apartment into a fortress of resilience. They attended Pride events incognito, drawing strength from the community. Leilani introduced Kendall to her extended family, Tez and Primos, who, after initial hesitation, embraced her with open arms and plates of empanadas. Familia is familia, Leilani's abuela declared, pinching Kendall's cheek. But betrayal struck from an unexpected corner. Marty, Kendall's old agent, approached her with a comeback offer. A tell-all book deal that painted her coming out as a phase for publicity. Deny the romance, blame it on stress, he urged over a clandestine lunch. Tempted by the financial lifeline, bills were piling up. Kendall wavered. She confided in Leilani, who reacted with hurt fury. Is that what we are? A phase. The argument escalated, words like daggers. Accusations of weakness, fears of abandonment. Kendall stormed out into the New York night, rain soaking her to the bone. She wandered to the Brooklyn Bridge, staring at the churning East River, contemplating the abyss. Hours later, a small voice cut through the downpour. Mia, who'd followed her with an umbrella. Don't leave us, the girl pleaded, her eyes wide with fear. Mom needs you. I need you. You're my hero, even when you're sad. That moment shattered Kendall's resolve. Mia's words, raw and unfiltered, reminded her of the purity of love. They returned home drenched, where Leilani waited anxiously. Apologies flowed like the rain outside, forgiveness sealing their fractures. We're in this, Kendall vowed, pulling both into an embrace. As court dates loomed, Kendall channeled her wrestling grit into advocacy. She started a podcast from Leilani's spare room, sharing stories of queer athletes. Listeners trickled in, then flooded fans who'd felt betrayed, now rooting for her authenticity. Sponsors returned, niche ones supporting LGBTQ+ causes. The tide shifted, but not without cost. High drama unfolded in the sterile halls of the New York family court. Carlos, flanked by his lawyer, presented evidence. Screenshots of Kendall's old wrestling promos, twisted to suggest violence. Anonymous letters claiming Leilani's influence harmed Mia. The judge, a stern woman with silver hair, listened impassively. Leilani testified with poise, her voice steady. My daughter is loved, safe, and thriving. Love isn't a threat, prejudice is. Kendall's turn came next. Under cross-examination, Carlos's attorney grilled her. Ms. Hayes, your public meltdown, how can you provide stability? Kendall met his gaze. That meltdown was me claiming my truth. Stability comes from honesty, not hiding. Mia, too young for the stand, submitted a letter. Kendall makes mom happy, and she teaches me to be strong. Please don't take that away. The hearing recessed amid tension. Outside, supporters gathered. Queer activists, former fans, even a few wrestlers who'd come out in solidarity. Banners read "Love wins in the ring too." But inside Kendall's heart, doubt festered. What if they lost? What if her presence tore this family apart? Post-hearing, emotions boiled over. Leilani confided her fears. Carlos wasn't always like this. We were friends once. Kendall felt a pang of jealousy, irrational but real. Do you miss him? She asked, vulnerability cracking her voice. Leilani shook her head. No, but I missed the peace for Mia. Their love, once a sanctuary, now felt strained under scrutiny. A turning point came during a family outing to Coney Island. Amid Ferris wheels and cotton candy, Mia pulled Kendall aside. I heard you and Mom fighting. It's because of me, right? Tears welled in the girl's eyes. Kendall knelt, heart aching. No, kiddo. It's because the world can be mean. But you? You're the best part of us. Mia hugged her fiercely. Then fight like in the ring. For us. Inspired, Kendall reached out to old allies. A former coach, now retired, vouched for her in court. Media coverage turned sympathetic. From ring to redemption. Kendall Hayes' battle for love. Public opinion swayed, petitions circulating online. Yet, betrayal reared again, this time from within the community. A jealous ex of Leilani spread rumors online. She's using the wrestler for fame. The lies stung, forcing Leilani to confront past wounds. I thought I was over her, she admitted to Kendall one tearful night. But it hurts. Kendall held her, whispering assurances. We're real. That's what matters. As the case dragged, their romance deepened through shared trials. Stolen kisses in courthouse hallways, late-night talks about futures. Mia as a wrestler perhaps, or an artist like her mom. Leilani's art, vibrant paintings of New York scenes, adorned their walls, symbols of creativity amid chaos. Climax built to the final hearing. Carlos, sensing defeat, exploded. This isn't right for my daughter. The judge silenced him, ruling in Leilani's favor. Joint custody maintained, but with protections against harassment. Cheers erupted outside. Inside, relief washed over them like a wave. In the aftermath, Kendall proposed a fresh start. Let's build something unbreakable, she said. Down on one knee in their apartment, Mia beaming beside her. Leilani accepted with tears. A simple ring sealing their commitment. But scars remained, trust tested, hearts mended. With custody secured, life settled into a rhythm of cautious optimism. Kendall's podcast exploded in popularity, landing her speaking gigs at universities and pride festivals. From the mat to the mic, fans joked, but it was more. A platform for stories like hers, amplifying voices long silenced. Leilani returned to teaching with renewed vigor, incorporating lessons on diversity that inspired her students. Their family unit solidified. Mia thrived, joining a youth wrestling club where Kendall volunteered as a coach. Watch this. Mia would yell, executing a clumsy but enthusiastic takedown. Evenings were filled with board games, movie nights, simple joys that healed old wounds. Leilani and Kendall's love matured, laced with the depth of survivors. Gentle touches, knowing glances, promises whispered in the dark. But peace was fragile. A National Wrestling League offered Kendall a comeback match, hyped as the redemption bout. Excitement buzzed, but so did anxiety. What if they boo again? Kendall fretted. Leilani squeezed her hand. Then we walk away stronger. Training resumed, Kendall's body remembering the thrill. The sweat, the adrenaline. Rehearsals brought flashbacks. The sting of rejection, the loneliness. One night, after a grueling session, she broke down. I don't know if I can do this. Leilani held her. You already have. By loving us. Mia, overhearing, added her wisdom. Heroes fall but they get up. That's you. The match approached, set in Barclays Center, Brooklyn, a homecoming. Tickets sold out, a mix of old fans and new allies. Backstage, nerves peaked. Leilani and Mia waited in the wings, their presence a talisman. As Kendall entered the ring, the crowd's roar was mixed, cheers dominating boos. Her opponent, a rising star, fought fair but fierce. Mid-match, doubt crept in, a slip, a near pin. But Mia's voice cut through. Hayes hammer. Chanting spread. Kendall surged, executing her signature move flawlessly. Victory bell rang, confetti fell. In the ring, she grabbed the mic. This is for every queer kid dreaming big. And for my family who saved me. Post-win, life accelerated. Endorsements returned but selective. Brands aligned with inclusion. Kendall and Leilani married in a small ceremony in Central Park. Cherry blossoms swirling like blessings. Mia walked them down the aisle, her smile radiant. Yet, humanism shone in quieter moments. Carlos, humbled by the ruling, reached out for co-parenting peace. I was wrong, he admitted over coffee. Forgiveness wasn't easy, but for Mia's sake they tried. Kendall mentored young athletes, sharing, strength isn't just physical. It's owning your truth. Conflicts lingered. Occasional hate mail, societal whispers, but they faced them united. Love, they learned, was a wrestle. Demanding, rewarding, eternal. Years unfolded like chapters in a well-worn book, each page etched with growth. Kendall retired from full-time wrestling at 35, channeling energy into a foundation for LGBTQ+ youth in sports. Hayes Heroes, it was called, offering scholarships in safe spaces. Leilani advanced to principal at her school, advocating for inclusive curricula that changed lives one classroom at a time. Mia, now a teenager, blossomed into a confident young woman. At 16, she came out as bi, her mother's support unwavering. You paved the way, she told Kendall during a family hike in the Adirondacks. The girl who'd once saved Kendall now inspired her daily. Proof that redemption rippled outward. Their love story, once fraught with drama, settled into enduring romance. Anniversaries marked with trips to Puerto Rico, where Leilani's roots ran deep. Quiet evenings on their Brooklyn stoop, watching the world pass. Betrayals faded into lessons, conflicts into catalysts for deeper connection. In a humanistic twist, Kendall's journey circled back. At a Wrestling Hall of Fame induction, the crowd stood in ovation. No boos, only respect. She dedicated it to Leilani and Mia. They taught me that losing everything makes room for what matters. The end wasn't fairy tale perfect. Life rarely is. Challenges arose, a health scare for Leilani, navigated with grace. Mia's teenage rebellions met with patience. But through it all, their bond held. A testament to resilience, empathy, and the profound humanity of love. As the sun set over the city, Kendall reflected. From that shattering mirror to this full life, the path was winding, painful, beautiful. In America's melting pot, their story stood as a beacon, proof that even in division connection triumphs.